Jimny rear wheel bearing. The oil drain plug has a 10mm square female hole in it, but you can do it with a 3/8 drive socket if you have nothing better to use. Now the bearing's held in by the brake back plate, so we need to take that off, and to start with we need to take off the brake line to the cylinder. We need to take off the handbrake cable, and we need to remove the ABS sensor. Sit the ABS sensor 10mm head, and it didn't break off, so that's good. Then we need to exercise a bit of caution getting this thing out, because we don't want to break it and have to buy a new one. Just waggle it and out it comes. Excellent. It's nice getting something off without breaking it. So once you've removed the brake shoes, you have to undo 4 12mm headed screws, nuts that are at the back of the back plate. They're all rusty and they have to go over considerably long threads, so we need to wire brush them. Now, although you could do it with anything else, the best tool for taking these rather awkwardly situated nuts off the back is a 12mm deep socket. This is the ABS model, so it's got the ABS ring on it. There isn't a new ring in the kit, so that needs taking off carefully rather than with a grinder. So it won't fit in my press, but I've had these bearing pullers for years and never ever had a cause to use them before, so let's have a go. There, that's the setup. Well, I'm about halfway through this job and it ground to a halt the other day, so I'm going to tell you something really important. You need to take care when you buy your wheel bearing kit, because you actually need this part, the bearing retaining ring, which is a press fit. I've attempted several times to remove it, and it turns out, having researched it, that you need to grind the thing off. This kit is absolutely hopeless because it only contains one oil seal and does not include the retaining ring. When you buy your replacement bearing kit for the Jimny, you need to make sure it has a replacement bearing retaining ring, because the one that I bought, the blueprint one, didn't have the bearing retaining ring, so I wasted a couple of hours trying to get the original ring off. Then did a bit of research, then found out that it's essential to replace that part. It needs grinding away. The ABS ring pulls off quite easily, but this is as tight as can be, a press fit. And so I'm going to grind it nearly all the way through and then crack it off with a chisel. This bearing retaining ring has 2 internal diameters. The first one is very finely ground and is the interference fit on the shaft, and is a good few thou smaller than the part nearer me. I think you can just about see it there. So when you're grinding away the ring, as you break through on this part here, it gives you some indication of how far you can grind on the second diameter, because what you really don't want to do is touch that shaft, because the dimensions are critical and we don't want to damage it. So there, I've ground most of it away with Mr. Angry, the 9-inch grinder, and now I'm going to move on to a smaller grinder, so I've got a bit more control, because I really do not want to damage that diameter. Now you can tell when you're nearly through, because the thing suddenly starts getting very hot at the thin spot. That's a very good indicator. And now those little heat spots are just showing me just how close I am to cutting this thing through. But as it turned out, I didn't even need a chisel, because when I tapped it with a hammer, I was so close it cracked on the line. There we are, and absolutely no damage at all. Well, the bearing was tighter than I expected, so I had to give a similar treatment to the bearing, but it's moving off quite easily now. Now the bearing goes on quite easily. It's not such a tight fit, and you can use the old bush to drive it home. You know when it's gone home because the noise changes. The retaining ring is a different matter. It is a tight press fit on the shaft. Everything needs to be as clean as a whistle, and you really do need to put it in a press. Well, here we are at the press. You really struggle to do this without a press, and if you haven't got one, I suggest you get a friend who has a press. If you haven't got one of those, go and get one. And if you haven't got any friends, get yourself a press, because you will soon have plenty of friends. Refitting is just a reversal of the procedure, but don't forget to put the ABS ring on, because that would be a real pain. Here's a little warning for you. That is where the oil seal fits, and if you try to put that retaining ring on with a hammer, you're going to damage it, and the oil seal won't do its job. We'll clean the mating faces, including the ABS sensor fitting. Now there's an oil seal in here which we can pull out with the old slide hammer, and behind the oil ring there's a splash ring. Some of the kits have a replacement ring and some don't, so if you don't have one, be careful not to damage it. Make sure everything's really clean. We don't use compressed air because we don't want to blow the dirt in there. We want to keep as much dirt out as we can. Replace the oil seal and knock it home with one of the most abused of all tools, a socket. And then we apply sealant to this surface. I don't think it really matters what kind of sealant we use, but I have a tube of flange sealant, so that's what I'm going to use. And then we simply slide the half shaft home, wriggle it into the splines, put the back plate over the screw holes, and the job's a long way towards being done. Right, we put the wheel back on. Don't forget to adjust the handbrake, and definitely don't forget to fill the axle back up with oil. And if this video helped you, I'd very much appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything.